thing where the milkman used to leave the milk. We had one when I was a child. It's carved, that's what I think it is. It's carved into the wall here, and that's where they used to put the milk. And here you can, if you look down on the path there, it's all cobbled, look. That cobbling was probably there when Tennyson walked up the path. Imagine that. I don't know about, it's probably been thatched a few times since. I don't know who lives in there now, but it clearly says Tennyson's house on there, look. What date does it say on there? I think it says 1890 written on there. But this cobbled stoneway would definitely have been here. They don't lay them down easily. He's got some lovely flowers in the garden. I can't remember all the names of flowers, I'm afraid. Apologise to those knowledgeable people. I can't remember stuff, I tell you, it's terrible. Because I'm not involved with it much. But there we go, it's a lovely, another little video. I've done one with the mobile. There is someone inside, I can see somebody reading the paper. You probably get a lot of viewers, poet lovers like me. And you know, the fact that I've been to Lincolnshire, I went to Somersby and got the feeling for it. I bought cups and tea towels and all sorts of books when I was there. I stocked up because it's not as if can just pop up the road, you know, it's quite a hike from Somerset to go all the way up there because of all the motorways and the traffic. But it's a lovely summer's day. It's something like the 14th of July 2026. I was in Lincolnshire at Somersby, Tennyson's birthplace, about 2 weeks ago. And it's nice to actually do this so close to visiting that place. So I can tie it, when I do the actual WMVs ready for YouTube, I can tie all this part of his life in. And the fact that he knew my third cousin, 3 times removed, Alice Buckton, from a famous Buckton family that married into the kings. Oh, you know, they all come down through to me at some point. It's all recorded. Oh look, there's a little thrush. Or was that a female blackbird? You don't see them very often. You certainly don't see them where I live. Oh, that was nice. I saw my first thrush when I was away in Suffolk or Cambridge for the first time in years. Butterflies. So here's the piece of his little garden in a busy little road where everyone likes to park. So it's quite busy. So Tennyson, I'm visiting. I'm now going up to the church. You might be mentioned inside of St Andrew's, and have a wander around the churchyard, and then I'm going to do what's called Poet's Walk, or Poet's Hill. Right folks, I'm doing Poet's Walk now. I was going to have an ice cream, but I waited so long, in the end I decided not to bother, and I had one of my fruit bars. Over there you've got Clevedon Pier, which I am not doing today, but that'll be a different trip if I do that side of the village. It's very windy, by the way, very welcoming, but it could be seen as quite nippy. Wells over there. Because I haven't been here for a while, so I don't know how long this has been here. I'm going around, I'm skirting, but I could have come up through there, called Wayne's Hill. I think I could have come up through that if I'd wanted to, but then I would have missed all the views. So basically this is a cliff edge. It's called Poet's Walk. There are some interesting informative plaques on the way round. One showing Arthur Hallum, a close friend of Lord Tennyson, who's buried in the vault of St Andrew's Church here with his family, a well-to-do family. There's lots of information about them, and they were hit from here. So this is what drew Tennyson to this part of the world. And apparently he brought one. I don't know how many wives Tennyson had. I haven't really studied him completely yet, but he brought a bride here. And of course, this is a new invention, isn't it? Poet's Hill. This wouldn't have been hill. This hill would have been here, but it wouldn't have been well defined and labelled. You got to remember that. We can easily think, oh, that's always been like that, but when it hasn't. I mean, the cliff could have even gone out further, but with erosion. You know, there's a lone pigeon. Hello, pigeon. Hey, I've got nothing for you. Hey, you're a little wood pigeon. So we've got the sea over there, got the country of Wales. Hello, have you come to speak and say hello? Have you? Well, how nice of you to fly up to my height and speak. Oh, lovely. Have a good day. Have a good day. They're very intelligent, you know, pigeons, apparently. And they remember you. There's a couple of people out. Like I said, I would have had an ice cream, but I'm glad I didn't in a way, because it's quite blowy and I think I could have got quite cold eating it. But I had to wait too long. I thought, you know, it was only me and one other person, and there were two of them. And I thought, oh, so I ain't waiting anymore, I'm going. I have got a lot of patience. I am good in queues. But it just seemed that she kept looking at me and never sort of acknowledging me or saying, I won't be a minute, madam, or, you know, there was no sort of polite. So I thought, nah, don't bother. Don't bother. Right, now look, I'm back to where I was not long ago. And the Salt Hill, I think, I'm not going to risk it because there'd be too many snakes, but I think Salt Hill is up there. I'm back where I was a minute not long ago. I've been round in a loop. And the Salt Hills are up there, and I know that. Anyway, I'm going further. I'm carrying on. I'm going to go around that hill there and end up by the river, I expect. That's the plan, eh? I didn't bring a lot of food because of my indigestion problems. But I have got another fruit bar, which seemed to be gentle on my stomach. And another sort of moist bar to eat. Plenty of water, of course. So this is Sheila at Poet's Hill, Somerset, Clevedon, if anyone's listening. It's a lovely day. There are people in the lake. There's a big history here. There's loads you can find out online if you want to. Over and out a minute. Another view. A bit higher up now. It's very, very windy, folks. Very windy. There's a hill here. I'm going to carry on up the path though. But I might climb up onto the hill in a minute before going back down. Oh dear. Sorry, that's a fruit bar. Let me just have a look here a minute. Let's just go up here a minute. So I knew there was a hill somewhere I trod on. This could be Wayne's Hill. What we're going to do before we carry on the path, I'm just going to walk over to the middle to get some views, folks. I think this is what you call the salt hills, and there's Wayne's Hill. I think I'm just going to wander over here for a little bit. Could be that I should have taken that path. What do you think? Take that one? I don't want to wander in the grass. I don't know if there's snakes up here or ticks, probably. I got bitten by a tick, by the way, since I last went out. It's alright, I got it. It was just gorging on my blood in my arm. I didn't see it for a while. It was on the inside of my arm, not the outside. And it was when I was on the computer, and I just sort of, you know, your eyes wander, don't they? And I just saw it. So I had to talent out. This is a nice view. Could be that I should have gone up that one to get on the top. Doesn't matter, we don't have to repeat everything I've done in the past. But here's the nice views of Weston Super Mare's hillfort. That's the hillfort over there. Steep home, flat home. Sand Bay. There's Sand Bay there. And this is all a bay that a lot of people want to be able to walk to Sand Bay, but a farmer, there's about 4 or 5 fields, you won't let anyone through. But you can walk so far. You can walk along the coast here. It's a lovely walk. I've done it. Back to the village of Kingston Seymour. And from now. I've cycled it. I was very fit once. I just remembered how fit I was. Right, I'm going to take some pictures, folks. This is Sheila over at Clevedon, Somerset, North Somerset. Over and out. That feature there. Maybe from the World War. I climbed, when I was here last, say 15, 20 years ago, I climbed on top of that. But it's a bit too windy today. I'm not going to scramble up on top of that, although I know I can do it if I want. There's places where you can put your foot and hook up. But it's a bit windy. There's the Church of St Andrew down there, where I was a minute ago, in the graveyard. All Clevedon, all big houses where the wealthy live. And then lots of new builds. Lots and lots of new builds here. I'm not going down that way, by the way, because I want to finish the walk going right round. It's a beautiful place. Wild and free. And don't forget Tennyson was here. And probably my third cousin 3 times removed, Alice. Alice could have spent some time here as well. She was a close friend of Tennyson's. I've got a book. She wrote books. I've got books from her. She was a woman before her time as well. So I'm quite enjoy. I haven't read them all yet. They're hard to get. I went to Glastonbury and bought one in a second-hand bookshop. I found one. And I took it down to Chalice Well House. And I said, look, you ought to have this on sale here. She was one that purchased this place in the beginning. But she got pushed out a bit by the bloke. It takes a lot of credit. Even now he does. You know, as men did. You know, in her time, you know, born at the beginning or at the end of the 18th, 19th century, and very privileged woman, but you know, she made her mark. I mean, she went over to Africa, she did lots of things, set up schools. Revolutionary she was, really, for women especially. These were pioneer women, you mustn't forget them. And she's in my DNA. We share ancestors. The Bucktons and the Kings. And so I've got an association when I come here because of her, and I can share some of this, web links and photos on her page. Now, instead of going straight down there, which I could do, I'm going to go back on the path now. We should be over here. I'm going to go back on the path through a gate rather than go straight down. So once again, this is Sheila on the 14th of June 2026, and it's the first semi-final of the World Cup today. I think it's Brazil versus France. That will be some battle, but my money's on the French. I think they just got the edge on Brazil, to tell you the truth. But Brazil might have learnt a lot and put it to and will put it to effect. There's lots of these little seats. You can't just see out, look. Yeah, so we've got that to look forward to later. I've got to go. And then tomorrow we got England playing Argentina, the argy-bargies and the cheaters. They tend to get away with it. Remember Maradona? Hand of God and all that? Yeah. When the tough gets going, they get cheaty. Argentina. And they've won it 4 times. Did they really win it? Right. Just about to see Clevedon Pier there. Over and out again for a minute.